the stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving.
The show goes on.
Nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania, the no bullshit approach to all financial markets. We got Bitcoin, darknets, financial betting, and of course, the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. I'm your host, Brian Micott, Bitcoin class of 2011, financial genius and poker player. Joining me are Glance and Richie. Glance is a former options specialist from the Philly Stock Exchange in the 90s, and Brett is the head of Blitzpin. The whole thing is put together by Tony, the producer, and this is Market Mania. Tony, hell of a day in the market today. Let's get right to it. Glance, check in on that options fund.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good today. No, actually, we're losing now a little bit, 1/3%, nothing. It's been pretty much nothing day. The market's down a little bit. Nasdaq's up. This is probably the first day in maybe 3 weeks where our fund is, we're not long overall. It looks like the risk reward's coming to a different place with all the risk from the election, and stimulus is already priced in. So we're not long the market anymore. So this would be interesting going forward. Brett, you still seeing all the Robinhooders getting long? I don't think they're buying the calls like they used to.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just kind of in wait and see mode for the election. Is the stimulus going to go through? Overall, probably not a great day for the Robinhood world. Airline stocks, as we're going to get to, are taking a pretty big hit, which is a sector that the Robinhooders tend to love buying. So we'll see how the rest.
Our lead story of the day, hell of a hat choice, Matt Glance, today. Loving it. We'll get Brett with something on the head soon. The airline stocks are down. All right, they are plummeting today. Delta shed something like 5 billion plus. LOL. Brett Ritchie, can't be good for the little guy today.
Well, people aren't flying as much, right? So all the airlines are down. Spirit, Delta, American Airlines, everything is down a few percent. They say it's going to take a long time. Is there going to be government help coming in to help the airlines? But as one of the patron saints of the show, Dave Portnoy, says, people fly. We're a flying culture. So I personally think that these things are going to rebound. Airlines aren't going anywhere. Matt, what are you seeing from your perspective?
I don't see much of a rebound coming anytime soon because they're just the debt is unreal. Delta lost $3 a share today in their earnings report. American Airlines is like, I don't know, $30 billion in debt or something. Their interest alone, obviously we know interest rates are low, but even with low interest rates, they're paying $1 billion in interest a year.
Buffett folded earlier this year. You remember that? Buffett said airline was uninvestable. He took his chips to the cage.
He's right.
Well, you always have the chance of just a government bailout. I think maybe people are pricing it in too much.
That's more loans. It's more debt. It's more debt the last time.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the airlines, man. People fly Delta. I like Delta. They're a good company.
All right, $20 billion market cap, shedding $5 billion a quarter. You better hope that it turns around soon if you're sailing it in there. Boeing takes a hit today. Everything's. What about? Now remember, Portnoy said we're a flying culture, but he's a rich guy. He was
buying Spirit. Rich people don't typically fly Spirit.
No, they never. That's you get rich to avoid flying Spirit. That's the point of being rich.
But what I think with Spirit is Delta and these other nicer airlines can kind of probably bring their prices down to compete with Spirit, maybe, which might hurt Spirit. It's hard to say. They're all in trouble. I think there will probably be some consolidation.
A year from now, airline prices will be a lot higher than they are now. Not the stock prices, seat tickets. We'll be paying a lot more. No more $300, $200 flights. paying $500 or $600 a year from now.
You gotta hope for some free market type stuff. Let these companies that have screwed us on bag fees and the experience is like your cattle, let them fail, and then just let some smart, San Fran West Coast types come in and just make like, JetBlue but a little nicer, and like make it take crypto and like make it easy. Then you get everything digitally. I don't know, like it needs a big level up. We've been doing the same thing with airlines fucking us for my whole lifetime. Actually, it was good when I was a kid. Last 20 years, they've been fucking us.
I don't. JetBlue was good, man. The TV in the seat, Virgin
All right, guys,
America
enough
was
about
good.
the airlines. Let's
All
move on from the airlines.
All right.
Florida is the big story today, with the election coming in just 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so. November 3rd, the place is going to go batshit. Then Florida is obviously a huge key, big swing state there. Brett Ritchie, what do you got for us on the race?
So Biden is crushing in the polls in Florida. He's doing really well with seniors, which is an important voting bloc within Florida. And the early vote numbers are up really big since 2016. It looks like a lot of seniors are voting early for Biden. Interestingly enough, the betting market is not really reflecting what we see in the polls. It's a lot closer to a dead heat, maybe 55-45 or so here. So people are still pricing Trump in as a pretty good chance in Florida. And I think one of those reasons may be the sort of enthusiasm we see at Trump's rallies compared to Biden. If you look at what happens at anywhere Trump goes, it is like this party, this really, energetic experience we see here. All these people really excited, and he's doing all these rallies. And then you go to Biden and it's just a ghost town. You have a Biden. This is Biden and Harris. First event together in Arizona. It's a total ghost town. Matt, you're long Biden. Does this worry you at all, seeing all this enthusiasm for Trump and just crickets for Biden?
Well, Brett, spoken like a true believer that you are. This is wonderful. Trump's got a lot of good rallies going. There's so much excitement. I mean, the polls don't matter, but if people show up for rallies, that's what translates to votes. That's what we're going with now, right? That's what the true believers are going with. So we'll just go with that.
I just asked a question for the record.
Listen, all these Florida polls, you can pull those Florida polls back up, Tony. They're all in Biden's favor. A month ago, they were all in Trump's favor. He's losing Florida. It's like everyone believed the polls back then, but they're not going to believe them now because they switched. You see on the spread on the right side, it says Biden +3, +4, +4.
Trump +3.
It's not an insurmountable lead at all. Like, for sure, Trump could win Florida, unlike Pennsylvania, where he has no chance to win Pennsylvania.
You got this like rally. The core Trump base is really excitable, and they're fired up, and they're balls to the walls everywhere. Social, Facebook, go to the rally in person, and obviously the Democrat voter is just this year at least is just like well, we gotta get this guy out. So who did they put? Which vampire did they put forward? Oh, okay, okay, yeah, right. Biden. Like, I mean, it's that kind of a voter. And so, I mean, I expect that rally to be like that.
Are you paying 56 cents for Biden in Florida, Matt?
For sure. I would. I haven't bet any state markets.
I mean, predicted has its own issues. I'm just curious based on those odds, if you would.
Yeah, I would bet -120. That's basically what it is on Florida.
All right. We will see over the next couple of weeks these markets move and how the country of the United States will be affected by the November 3rd election. Holy shit, buckle up, baby. That is going to move markets that night. Okay, so Zoomtopia coming up. Now, a lot of people may remember I had a pick of the day. Zoom put would be getting crushed right now, but shooters keep shooting. We don't just take one L and then we take our ball and go home. That's not how we do it. Shooters keep shooting. Matt Glantz, Zoomtopia. What the hell's happening?
So Zoomtopia is just the fancy name they gave for a financial analyst meeting, which they're doing tomorrow, 2:00 Eastern time, midday. So I'm sure they'll be promoting all their new software enhancements and revenue streams. And people are super excited. The stock was up $20. Where is it up? It's up 15 now. I think it was up 22 this morning at one point. So, it started the year at like $60 or $40 a share. So we're like 8-9x from the beginning of the year. Obviously, Everyone's using Zoom. We're using Zoom to produce this show. It seems like they have a moat around it and nobody can compete. So I know Mike On's a big short.
There's no
You're
moat.
short too.
Jitsi, we could do this show on Jitsi Meet. It's free, and it just there's 100.
The point is, we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, enough is enough. Like it's just about. I'm gonna call that guy Dankness for the tough conversation here because it's $150 billion fucking app that like it's a Google Meet. That's 150 billion. That's just that's crack prices. I mean, it's not real.
I'll say this though. Zoom's not worried about Jitsi Meet or the free version. They're worried about Apple and Google and these other mega behemoth companies that can easily replicate this technology at scale and what their offerings are going to look like compared to Zoom. Like this is the sort of live conferencing battle is far from just over. I don't think it's winner take all.
Guys, fun fact, Mike On, you'll like this, that we put on a position this morning in Zoom, first time in quite a while, and we are slightly short the Zoom going out today.
My man, you got to have, Crunk brought up a good point there because a Google intern could accidentally rewrite a better Zoom in an afternoon after he's got a couple of Red Bulls in him and a Soylent. All right, moving along, $140 billion. Yeah, I mean, enough is enough. Digital dollar coming soon. Now, I believe, yes, it is. Tony, the producer for the Macro Minute here, give us the lowdown.
Hey guys, thanks for letting me cut in here. Sitting in orbit above Wall Street right now, looking pretty beautiful from here, but there are some rumblings happening in the financial world, and one of the big things, the biggest story probably going to be next year, is that a digital dollar is coming to the US, and it's going to be blockchain based. And if you just start reading the headlines, you can really connect these dots. First of all, they hired Coinbase CEO to go oversee the banking system as they prepare for a new digital dollar. And you're going to start to see headlines like this one, digital dollar to be in competition with Bitcoin. But the ones that are really going to drive it are things like this, that Corona survives on banknotes for up to 4 weeks. You combine that with the fact that we've been having coin shortages, and this is another vector for coronavirus apparently, and pretty soon you'll start to see the Treasury coming out and say, no, we have to have a digital dollar. But for civil libertarians, this could be a big problem because now they can track every single expenditure, everything you buy. I mean, it doesn't look good, and to quote the Dalai Lama, it's fucking bullshit actually. So I'm not looking forward to it. What do you guys think? Digital dollar, good, bad? Am I crazy?
This has happened in India. You saw the lines to the banks because they just took away all the 20 and 50 notes. They want everything digital, just so like Tony said, they can track that shit. There's already USDT, USDC, there's Tether, there's the Circle USD. It's been tokenized already, and like it's certainly useful on there. It's not coming after Bitcoin. It's not the same market. I don't know. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, I agree. Bitcoin really has gone for the digital gold narrative. So this is more bullish for Bitcoin too, right? It's getting more people familiar with digital money and then looking for Bitcoin's really gone away from the payments vision, I would say, as we've already discussed on this show. It's really going for gold. One of the reasons there might be a coin shortage, Tony, is you keep buying up all the silver. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Yeah. But I don't really care. I think the government, they're going to, like with the phones we've got and everything, like they're going to be tracking a lot of things. I'm surrendering. It's 1984. It's Big Brother. And it's too much trouble to avoid it. So I just don't care. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Some of us, are just like two middle fingers up, and
I'll have them up,
take my ball and
go
home. Yeah. All right. No,
I'm just glad. I'm glad there's things like Monero out there that are going to be there for when this digital dollar thing goes pear-shaped, because it's gonna. So at least in my opinion. But anyway,
appreciate it, Tony. Thank you very much.
Have a good show, guys.
Thank you. That's the Macro Minute with Tony, the producer. All right, along the same lines, capital controls and crypto. This is actually almost the same story.
Lost the headline. Where'd we go? There we go.
Yeah, it's all right.
Too many headlines.
Yeah, there you go. So local Bitcoins blocked in Russia. This is very much along the same lines of this whole, let's make sure to track everything digitally. Now, Local Bitcoins is a site where you can trade crypto person to person like how it was supposed to be, permissionless, and you just find a guy. You don't do a central thing. You don't show IDs and such. You just do the trade like how most humans want to do it. So this is now blocked in Russia. There's also local.bitcoin.com that also does essentially the same thing. Local Bitcoins went to some sort of a KYC something for something. I don't remember. I haven't used them, I don't think, in a long time. So Russia just put the kibosh on it. Similar to China, they like to keep the money in the family, and they just deleted this shit, right? You can't get there from the web. You just can't go to local Bitcoins anymore. If you had money on there, I don't know. Everybody probably knows to use the VPN. But Richie, they cut it off in Russia. You're always there reporting on the stock market. Is this going to be tough for you to trade when you're there?
I love Russia. I've got the Duolingo app, learning Russian just for the inevitable Russian takeover if Trump does win a second term. But I mean, this is a progression we're seeing throughout the whole world. Governments cracking down on Bitcoin and ways to access it. Bitcoin's honey badger, as we know, right? This doesn't really mean something terribly negative for Bitcoin. It's unfortunate for citizens of Russia, but especially Bitcoin users, people are resilient. They're going to find ways around this. The government can only control so much. That's sort of what I was saying earlier about not caring about the 1984 Big Brother aspect. It's a full-time job to try and hide everything you do from the government. So I think at some point, just, keep it moving.
Matt Glantz, you going to Russia and trading crypto?
You know what? I'll stick to my PayPal and Venmo. I'm comfortable with those things.
All right. The Wall Street Bets gain and loss. Yep, there she is. The Wall Street Bets gain and loss of the day. This is a fun new segment on Market Mania where we just look at one of our favorite Reddits, the Wall Street Bets crew over there, and we just pull out the game, just these people that are leveraging the entire account on one shenanigans thing. And then, it's I like to illustrate that. I mean, this is a crazy fucked up play right here. This was, I believe, the gentleman fired it into, what was the contract? Does it say it down there? Oh, no, actually, I guess I didn't. No, what are you going to do? He won. It was Amazon. That's right. Amazon calls somehow March 19th, 2021, huge premium, 3,500 call. All right. Okay. All right. And then so he fires into these huge premium out of the money calls. Then, yeah, the stock made a run. And guys like Glantz lose when this guy wins. Correct?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
This is a fish hitting a bet, and then the house.
He's betting a parlay with sick VIG, and he hit.
They're buying lottery tickets, paying the VIG. I'm selling the lottery tickets, taking the VIG, but sometimes you got to lose.
Yeah. And so that was the win of the day. And I forget the user. What's the user here? I had it written down. I wanted to give him proper credit for, what is it? It's Tesla is too low. IMO. Great job. That's the Wall Street Bets gain of the day. And then to the loss of the day, the flip side of buying out of the money options with the huge premiums and then just buying Glantz one more golden toilet seat is this. This is how it usually looks. And this is important. If you get into investing and you get your like 5K, or 4K sitting around, when you don't take your 4K and think, all right, I'm going to try to run that into like 300, 400,000 and then 1.5 million, just like some of these Wall Street Bets gods have done. Don't think like that. That's not how you make money. It's just not. One in 5,000 might hit, but you're going to be the 4,999 is just where you're going to end up just about every time. And this is the Wall Street Bets loss of the day from you. We don't even say the names of
Kenny
the loss of the day.
Sav. Sorry,
we don't
Kenny.
glorify losses of the day. Brett Ritchie, what? Now you have $1,000 loaded on Robinhood, right?
Yeah.
How do you even
load
load
it?
Is that negative, Tony? Is it negative 1,000?
He's got a negative. He had 4K and he lost 5,200 or whatever.
How did they let him gamble more than he has? Okay, when you have a margin account, right? You can trade a margin, but when you're buying options, you can only pay the amount of money that's in your account. You can't get more. You can't get margin on buying options, and options can only go to zero. So I have no idea how it got to a negative.
They're very creative on there, and if I recall, he could have made it. I just realized he could have made a withdrawal. He could have ran it up slightly, made a withdrawal, and then lost. No, that doesn't get there either.
I don't know. We
believe
might
that
be
they
finding
handle-
out though once I get clicking on there.
All right, we will see what we shall see. Now, we don't glorify losses here. That's not what we do. I think everybody knows what time it is. It's time. Safety glasses on. The Market Mania pick of the day. It's a rapid fire segment. No time wasted. Matt Glantz, send us your pick of the day.
My pick of the day is short QQQ. QQQ is ETF for the NASDAQ 100. I believe the market has fully valued in the stimulus now. It's kind of valuing in a clean election. So there's a lot of things that go wrong between now and 2.5 weeks from now by the election. And also, I know Pelosi is looking to put a little cloud over Trump's shoulder. So I like the short here at 295.80. We'll see how it goes.
Brett Ritchie, hit us with the pick of the day after that bearish sentiment.
I'm buying the Delta dip. You know, I love that Matt and you don't like Delta. You think airlines are done for. It's the contrarian play that I like to look for. I'm going to join the Robinhood herd and buy the dip on Delta. It's a good airline.
Robinhood believer. I love it.
Not going anywhere.
All right, and I can't stop throwing out short plays on the not investment advice Market Mania pick of the day segment. I'm going short on Beyond Meat. Fuck them. It's fake meat. I've had it. I grilled up one of the burgers myself. They got earnings coming up soon. And then you got to look at like the meek sales numbers and you got to think, holy shit, is this a $15 billion entity or is this like 400 vegans crowded around? Like, all right, we'll mix the pea soup and we'll call that one sausage and we'll call that one breakfast food and we'll call this a burger. I don't know, man. I just don't get it. It seems it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good when I had it. So I'm shorting that shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough. That's how we do it on Market Mania. We thank everybody for joining us every day of the weekday. And we know, the world it's pretty fucked up right now coming towards this election. It is getting real, it's just getting real nitty. I don't know. It feels like there's electricity in the air. But as my girl Missy Elliott says, I like to take solace in her words at times like this. She said, "Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my fang down, flip it, and reverse it." She went on to say, "It's not yet," and then she repeated it. It's not yet. Like and subscribe to Market Mania. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
Come on, I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Come on, I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Come on, I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. Come on, I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Come on. Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold, never domino, out of control. The usual, get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard, got the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury, power of turning, wow, we're turning. Can't lie like Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine it look the other way. Couldn't clear space, and my mind was afraid of the time. Strobe black like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right